So, get this, my fiancé has always been way too close with her dude friend Aaron. Just days before our wedding, she threw a bachelorette party and guess who showed up? Yep, Aaron. It was supposed to be a girls-only thing, but somehow he managed to score an invite. And to top it off, I got a text with a video of them in a hot tub, getting all cozy. So, you want to know what I'm gonna do about it? Well, I'm about to spill the tea on the whole messed up situation that's basically ruined my life at this point. My fiancé, man. Me and Summer were supposed to get married this weekend, we were totally in love and everything was going great. We wanted our wedding to be perfect, so we spent months planning every little thing. But then I found out something that totally messed everything up. But before I get into all the drama, let me take you back to the start of our love story. You need to know the whole story to understand. I don't get why I'm so mad right now. Summer and I were like two peas in a pod, we had everything in common, hobbies, goals, values, you name it. It felt like we were meant to be together, so we decided to get engaged. Our relationship was solid, built on trust. Honesty was key for us and we both expected loyalty from each other. I never even thought to doubt Summer's faithfulness, I was proud of the trust we had between us. I used to talk big to my friends and fam about it, thinking it was something to brag about. But now that I know the truth, I can't claim that anymore. The trust, the loyalty, everything we built just fell apart like fragile glass. Even though we had a strong bond, there was always one thing that made me nervous, Summer's relationship with her bestie Aaron. They've been attached at the hip since they were little kids, like 5 years old. I get why they are so close, but it makes me uneasy. Being too close always bugged me. I think when you're committed or married, there should be some boundaries with close friends of the opposite sex. I know they have a long history and their relationship is just friendly, but I always felt uneasy about it. People just brushed off my concerns as me being insecure about us. At first, I pretended like it didn't bother me that much because I didn't want to be the jealous type. Man, I couldn't deal with my girl having guy friends, so I tried to trust Summer and be cool with her friendships. But as things got more serious between us, that gut feeling just wouldn't go away. I tried to ignore it, but there were times when I couldn't shake it. So, I finally talked to Summer about it. I wanted to be real with her about how I was feeling because I thought she deserved to know what was up. But she always brushed off my worries. She was all like, chill out, they are just good buddies, you ain't gotta stress, and she kept saying Aaron was like a brother to her, nothing more. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't being totally honest. Looking back now, maybe I should have seen it coming, but at the time I just brushed it off, trusting that she wouldn't lie to me, especially knowing how I felt about the whole thing. So we just carried on with our lives. Our relationship was solid as a rock and I didn't want anything messing that up. She brought so much happiness into my life, making me feel like true joy was actually possible. Life isn't just about going through the motions, it's about finding joy and living it up. I never realized this until she came along. I wasn't about to let some dude come between us. I didn't feel right about her being friends with him. Our friends always looked up to us for relationship advice, thinking we had the perfect relationship. We were always curious about our secret, we were the couple that everyone wanted to be like. We showed the perfect mix of love and respect for each other, sharing stories of our adventures and boasting about celebrating each other's successes instead of just our own. We were each other's rock through hard times, always giving each other unwavering support. But our seemingly flawless relationship was about to face some problems. There were some underlying issues and I was feeling uneasy about her connection with Aaron. Man, we were always fighting and getting into stupid arguments. Our friends had no idea about this side of our relationship and we were happy to keep it that way. They had no clue that we were about to go through some real tough shit. I don't know if we'll come out of it looking like the perfect couple everyone thought we were. The crazy thing is, it all went down just 2 days ago. Before our wedding, during Summer's bachelorette party, which is usually just for girls, she invited Aaron. I mean, why would a guy be at your bachelorette party, especially one who has caused problems in our relationship? To be fair, she did say I could invite any close female friends to my bachelor party, but I didn't have any as close as Aaron was to her. There was only one woman I was close to, her name was Lillian, my first ever friend. However, things got awkward when she started developing feelings for me during high school. So in school, we only talk when we really need to. Over the summer, I met this chick Lillian once and we hit it off pretty well. Sometimes I'd come home from work and find Lillian chilling at our place, which didn't bother me too much. Even though Summer said I could invite anyone to my bachelor party, I was still annoyed that Aaron went to her bachelorette party. But I kept quiet because I didn't want to start a fight right before our big day. I was dead set on making the whole week perfect and was ready to push aside my discomfort to keep things peaceful. Last week, it felt like Summer wasn't on the same page as me. She didn't do anything to keep things cool. Want to know what I found out? She cheated on me with Aaron at her bachelorette party. The same party she promised me not to worry about because she was just gonna have a good time and stay safe. Clearly, that was asking too much from her. Right in the middle of her party, I got a text from some random number. The sender was at Summer's bachelorette party and they sent me a photo of Summer in a swimsuit getting cozy with someone. So, I saw this pic of Aaron and my soon-to-be wife, Summer, by the pool. They were all cozy, hugging and stuff. For a sec, I thought they were a couple. But then I remembered she's about to be my wife. I was fuming, man. Imagine seeing a pic of your fiancé hugging her guy bestie, practically half naked, just days before your wedding. And to make it worse, it was midnight. It couldn't be any clearer that she was betraying me. I was hit with a bunch of emotions because of what Summer did. I was so messed up with a mix of confusion, anger, and heartbreak. I felt like a tsunami of emotions hit me. My head was swirling with questions like why would she do this, how long has this been going on, did she even love me at all? These questions were just spinning around in my head, making me feel completely lost. I was struggling to make sense of it all, trying to calm myself down with some deep breaths, desperate for some answers. But I had no idea who sent that text. If only I could figure out who sent that picture, maybe I could start to piece together some answers. Man, I had no idea who sent that text. The number was totally unknown to me. I thought maybe it was someone I knew who got a new number and forgot to tell me. You know how that goes. But when I asked who it was, they just blew me off and told me to focus on the fact that my soon-to-be wife was betraying me. So I spent all night planning how I was gonna get back at her. Now I know what you're thinking. I know it might seem a bit extreme, but when I found out my fiancé was cheating on me, I couldn't just let it go. It was like a total betrayal of my trust. Confronting her would just lead to a bunch of excuses and lies, so I didn't even bother. I mean, who hugs a friend like that? It was pretty obvious something fishy was going on. She totally brushed off my worries, saying I was freaking out over a short video clip. If she really knew me, she'd probably tell me to stay calm and not let my emotions take over. Honestly, that sucks. I mean, when I find out she's cheating, I want to react with both my heart and my head. So, I came up with a plan to take back control and show everyone that I'm not someone to mess with. I won't let myself be the victim of such a disrespectful act. In my mind, I was already heading down that path. Why I know, I was trying to get some closure and get back my dignity. At first, I thought I'd just call her out for getting in the way and leaking my private pics. But then I realized that wouldn't be enough to satisfy my need for revenge. I wanted her to feel the same betrayal and hurt that I did, even if I had to go a bit crazy. I was willing to go to extremes. I knew I couldn't pull this off on my own, especially since I needed someone else to help me out, someone I trusted to lend a hand. So the next morning I called up Lily. We hadn't talked in a bit, but when I told her everything that went down, she was shocked just like everyone else. No one expected Summer to do something like that. Lily was shocked to find out about the drama going on in what looked like a perfect relationship. But being the great friend she is, she thought it was only right to help me make Summer feel the same pain she caused me. The plan was simple. On the wedding day, instead of walking down the aisle in the summer, waiting for Lillian to stroll down with me hand in hand. When I told Lillian about the plan, it felt awesome, like she was my secret weapon ready to go. Lillian ain't one to keep quiet, so she did bring up some worries about the plan, but she also understood my need for closure. So, we got to work the next morning, brainstorming and strategizing to make sure our plan didn't blow up in our faces. I mean, I was Okay, so I was the one paying for the wedding and I really didn't want it to be a complete disaster. I just wanted everyone to see the truth about what Summer did and that I wasn't the bad guy here. So fast forward to the wedding day, it was a rollercoaster of emotions. Imagine this, it's the big day we've all been waiting for, a day that's meant to be all about love and promises of forever. Everyone was excited and waiting for me to make my grand entrance, but then, surprise twist, I walk in with another woman on my arm, Lillian. Let me tell you, it was crazy. The music suddenly stopped and the whole room went silent. Everyone was staring at me like I was the main attraction. I could practically hear their thoughts screaming, "What the heck is going on?" Then I saw Summer rush out the aisle, her dress flowing behind her like a dramatic movie scene. Her face went from confusion to pure shock. Honestly, seeing her heart break was harder than I thought. I thought it would make me feel better, but it was anything but easy. A part of me felt it. Feeling bad for hurting her so much. I mean, our actions totally messed up her life, but at the same time, it's kinda satisfying to know that all the emotional stuff I've been dealing with is justified. But let's be honest, Summer really hurt me with her actions and it's hard to keep a cool head when you feel so betrayed. I guess that's just how relationships are, right? Anyway, let's talk about the aftermath of my plan and how Summer reacted, even though I said it was like a man. When she showed up in the middle of the aisle, our families and friends went crazy. I could literally see the shock spreading from person to person, the gasps, the whispers, it was all so real. Everyone was completely shocked by what had just happened. Someone even said I must be crazy and need to be locked up in a loony bin. But I didn't take it personally because she's really tight with Summer, so I get where she's coming from. Skip to the showdown where Summer and I faced off. It felt like I was about to explode, you know what I mean. She stormed into my place with her eyes blazing red, clearly crying. I felt guilty for making her cry, but I still had feelings for her. I couldn't just let her walk all over me. Summer started calling me heartless, saying I was the one with problems. I tried telling her about my issues, but here's the thing, I tried talking to her multiple times about my concerns and she just kept blowing me off. This is what happens when she doesn't take my worries seriously. I was trying to fix things between us, but instead, she was out partying and getting close with her supposed best friend Aaron, almost half naked. So, now, I don't feel bad anymore. Honestly, she brought this on herself. At one point, the argument got heated and she got so mad that she threw a lamp at my head, like who does that? I was shocked because I never thought she was the violent type, but she proved me wrong in that moment. Things got really heated, so I told her she had two choices, either stop freaking out and we sleep in different rooms, or she could leave. She had the nerve to laugh in my face and storm out, slamming the door behind her, probably going back to that jerk Aaron. I didn't hear a word from her all night. Man, I was seriously starting to wonder if Summer was just straight up in denial. I mean, okay, maybe she didn't have feelings for him, but it was totally obvious that Aaron was head over heels for her right from the beginning. He was all over her, constantly touching her and stuff. So how could she just brush it off like it was nothing? I even have a video of them hugging really close, sent to me by some mystery person, and she still won't admit she cheated. It's like I'm just reaching for anything to make sense of it all. I realized that we couldn't go back to how things used to be. Our relationship had turned into a mess of insecurities, anger, pain, and distrust. I had to accept that maybe she wasn't meant to be with me. But that doesn't mean I can't make her feel bad too, after how much she hurt me. I spent the night getting wasted, ignoring calls from everyone, and basically going off the radar for a bit. It actually felt kind of good to escape for a moment. It's like I'm in a bubble, safe from any more drama. I don't know what to do next. Summer still hasn't come back home after a few days. She hasn't even swung by to pick up her stuff. Maybe she's crashing somewhere else for now. I'm keeping a low profile, avoiding everyone and acting like I disappeared. I just can't handle dealing with people right now. Update, I'm back with another update because, let's be real, my life never goes smoothly, does it? After that huge fight with Summer, she didn't show up at our place for like a whole week. It's been about 5 or 6 days, I think. Instead of her, the main troublemaker in this whole drama, Aaron, decided to come over. I was prepared for things to get heated and maybe even turn violent when I opened the door for him. But I let him in, trying not to cause a scene for my neighbors. Surprisingly, our conversation started off pretty chill and civil. He tried to explain Summer's side of things, saying, "I thought I had it all wrong, but it seemed like he was just brushing off my feelings and not taking the video I saw seriously. It showed them acting more than just friends with that hug. I should probably thank him for not getting mad right away when I brought it up, but instead he tried to make it seem like it was no big deal. He said I was overreacting and that there was nothing shady going on, just two friends hugging because one of them two were about to tie the knot and Aaron was just happy for her, but when he started defending Summer, things got out of hand. My emotions were all over the place. On one hand, I was trying to understand where they were coming from, but on the other hand, why was he going so hard for her? Just seeing him made all my built-up anger and pain come to the surface. It felt like I was about to blow up like a volcano. From his perspective, I may have overreacted, but from my side, I did what needed to be done. No way I was gonna go back on my plan. I wasn't gonna say sorry for the things I had to do because of the situation. When I explained everything to him, we ended up in a huge fight, throwing insults at each other. The air was tense and we were both accusing each other like crazy. It was clear neither of us was gonna give in. It took a punch to my face and me hitting him back for us to finally. Once we realized our so-called civil chat had turned into a mess, we decided to end it and I told him to leave. And if that wasn't bad enough, my buddy Jack, who's always been there for me, texted me saying he was disappointed. I was shocked that he didn't understand why I had gotten so worked up, even after I had explained everything in a long text. It hurt that he couldn't see why I had to push back on some things. Man, it really hurt me that he wouldn't have my back. I thought he would get me, so his reaction was really hard to handle. Now I don't know what to do next. It feels like everything is falling apart. But they say the tables will eventually turn, so I can either pick myself up and get back on track or keep making Summer's life miserable. Update: here's another update on my crazy wedding day drama, because it just keeps getting crazier. One thing that really stuck with me from my last chat with Aaron was when he asked if I even knew the person who sent the video. He made a good point that I shouldn't make a big decision just based on a video sent by a stranger. It really got to me, to be honest. I get where he's coming from and I started feeling guilty for causing all this chaos. So, with a bit of determination and a bag of Cheetos, I decided to start a digital investigation to find out who the heck was behind the mysterious tech center I stumbled upon. I channeled my inner Sherlock Holmes and thought the smartest move would be to track the IP address of the sender and dig up some info on them. I'm pretty good at tracing IP info since I used to work as an IT guy. I've been stalking this guy for a while now. It's a skill I've honed over the years, so it wasn't a big deal. But as I was creeping, my heart was racing like crazy, my eyes were glued to the screen because I was dying to know who this person was. I was on edge, feeling like I was about to scream every time the loading bar popped up. And let me tell you, the level of shock I felt when I finally found out who the mystery sender was insane. The digital breadcrumbs led me straight to the culprit. So, I found this message on my virtual doorstep from none other than Lillian. You know, the same Lillian who was by my side at my wedding, the one who comforted me when things got rough and told me I was doing the right thing. At first, I was confused why she would do this to me, but then I realized maybe she was just looking out for me and keeping me in the loop about what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I should be grateful, right? But then why send the message anonymously if she's on my side? I need some answers. So I was like, I had to confront her, right? And guess what? Turns out she totally blew things out of proportion because she had a thing for me and thought that Summer wasn't good enough for me. It was all her plan to break us up. I'm so crushed by this bombshell. I can't believe I fell for her trap and messed up the best thing in my life because of Lillian. I'm gonna try to talk to Summer again and make her see where I'm coming from, but I know I really hurt her. I broke her heart into pieces. Hey guys, just wanted to give you another update. This will probably be my last one because there's not much more to talk about. I finally figured out the truth about that picture and it's been eating me up inside. I feel so guilty because that image basically ruined my life, and not just mine but also Summer's. Once I found out about Lillian's lies, I called up Summer and explained everything to her. She was really mad at me, and I totally understand why, because my actions were messed up. Man, I know she's not gonna forgive me right away, but I really tried to make sure she knew my apology was legit. Summer was hurt and felt betrayed, so I get why she needs time. She said what I did really messed with her self-esteem and trust in me, and that's not something you can fix overnight. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Aaron and Jake talked to me about it too. Jake's convo was, it was kinda chill at first. Even though he called me out for being dumb, it didn't get as crazy as it did with Aaron. Aaron, on the other hand, was fuming. He barged into my place, yelling and throwing insults, and even ended up punching me in the face. I took it all without complaining because I knew I deserved it. I begged him to help me earn back Summer's trust, but he just laughed at me and said I messed up too much for him to help now. I was freaking out. After talking to Summer on the phone, I knew I had to deal with Lillian. I had been too lenient on her before, and I couldn't just ignore her manipulative ways. I tracked her down like a detective and gave her a piece of my mind, telling her all the anger and disappointment I had bottled up. I made it clear that her selfish actions had caused a lot of pain and chaos in my life and put my happiness with Summer at risk. But she didn't seem to care, still trying to convince me to do something. Instead of dating her and saying she could make me happier than Summer ever could, I was so mad at her for even thinking that I couldn't trust myself not to hurt her. So I just walked away. Now all I can do is pray that Summer will forgive me for acting so impulsively. Thank you.